So this is the plan. Because like I talked before, I see the problem being in the way that we learn in our history curriculums and our English curriculums. It's not that the material itself is bad. It's not that the textbooks themselves are bad. It's not that the method of learning is bad. It's just the combination of all of these small flaws creates a system that excludes so many people and their voices and their own cultures. And instead of learning about the culture of entire countries that were colonized prior to and after colonization and their systems for reform, we instead learn about these groups of people as they were colonized, and we learn about them through the eyes of someone standing in the United States or standing somewhere in Europe. But I think that's the problem, because then we get a very limited view of what is actually true to that nation, what is actually true to those people, whether they be in the United States or somewhere in Europe or anywhere else in the globe. And I think for every school, the problems that you see are going to be different. So obviously your method for changing that is going to be different. But for my community, this is what I set out to do, to make our history curriculum more inclusive to entire cultures instead of just focusing from the standpoint of one person in one area and then trying to understand the world. So what I have done is that I've set up meetings with the heads of our history and English department, and me and other students who are really interested in this cause of like recreating our history and English curriculums. We've met with them and we've had discussions about what we want to see and what type of representation we want. Because as a minority student, I would love to see my culture advocated for, or at least taught in my learning space, the same way that I'm 100% sure that would be for any other person who feels excluded in any way, whether that be by race, ethnicity, religion, gender, sexual orientation, anything, socioeconomic status, whatever it may be. So my goal is to advocate reform through administration at my school, because it's not that they're against it. It's just that they don't know that this is something that the students want, and this is the problem that students see. So it's our responsibility to go to them and say, this is an issue and this is a plan to fix it. And for every school, the plan is going to be very different. But for my school, my plan is that I have gone to them and we've set up three main problems that we see. One being how Eurocentric our curriculum is, one being the textbooks that we use, and then the last being the method in which we learn it. And I think by redefining these three aspects of the way that we learn, we can actually make a change and feel more included for all types of thought in our community. Thanks.